Saw both Inter and Napoli in action today, both of those teams winning. Matteo Darmian with the only goal of the game for Inter. As for Napoli, they benefited from an own goal and Anguissa as well to make it 2 against Verona. This is how things are looking in the standings. Gab Marcotti joining us now. And we must talk first about those 2 games. What stood out from them for you, Gab?
Well, I think as far as Napoli is concerned, I think we're seeing kind of that Conte relentlessness that we've talked about, which sometimes been there, sometimes hasn't been there. He's unafraid to go and disassemble his team halfway through the season. Obviously, Foloruncio going, Philip Billing on his way in. Maybe he knew that there was going to be Kvaratskhelia issue, or at least the risk that halfway through the season they said, no, you can't have Kvara anymore. That's fine. He pulled David Neres out of the hat. So big confidence builder for them. For Inter, a little labored perhaps, but I think a big 3 points, especially considering after what happened in the Super Cup on Monday. And that 2-goal lead, which turned into a 3-2 defeat in the derby. Derby fallout is a thing in Milan, even if it is in the Super Cup.
Tell us more about this Kvaratskhelia situation, Gab, because obviously Antonio Conte himself has confirmed that he submitted this transfer request. But what's happened here?
Well, what happened here is, let's face it, when Kvaratskhelia arrived in Naples, he was considered a long shot, a nobody. He signed a long-term contract, rightly so from his perspective and from the club's perspective. And he's still on that long-term contract in season 3. He's one of the lowest paid players at the club. So the club are saying, yeah, we'll give you a new deal. And but they haven't been able to reach an agreement on what that deal should be. Obviously, the club have all the leverage because he's locked in there for a long time, and the club accept that we're not going to give you silly money or money that we can't afford, and we have to be ready to sell you, to move you on if we can't reach a deal. Kvaratskhelia and his people know this. There was talk of him joining Paris Saint-Germain in the summer. I think that talk will still be out there now. The issue here is that they've basically reached breaking point. And I think the club find themselves in a good position in the table. And they're saying, look, we're not going to drag this out further. They know that every sort of month that passes, kind of the edge moves towards Kvaratskhelia in terms of leverage. For his part, the guy rightly wants to get paid. There was talk of him maybe getting a new deal with some sort of release clause, but in the current market, the way things are going, the release clause, they couldn't agree to an amount, frankly. And the club wants to avoid an Osimhen situation. So they've basically said, they've spun it as like he's handed in a transfer request, but no. But the club informed people late last week that yes, Kvaratskhelia is available. He's on the market. That's why he's not starting. And so they're just waiting for bids to come in from people who need what was potentially one of the best wingers in Europe.
How do you think it will play out, Gab? Do you think we'll see him at PSG in this window?
I don't know if it's PSG. I think it could be somebody else. I don't know that he's a natural fit, frankly, for the way Luis Enrique plays. I think if they were going to move for him, maybe they could have moved for him in the summer. Maybe they want to shift Kolo Muani first before turning their eye towards Kvaratskhelia. But I wouldn't be surprised if other clubs come into for him as well. This is a winger who plays with so much intensity as well as so much quality, mixing the two of them together. Obviously, it was a breakout first season when they won the title. Last year, supposedly a down year, but then you look at his numbers on what was a really, really bad team, and you talk about wow. And he's still very young. I think he's 23 years old, just turning 24. So I wouldn't be surprised. Certainly Napoli want to drum up more interest. What everybody wants to avoid here is a Victor Osimhen situation where they put him out on the block and then nobody takes him, and then they have to loan him out somewhere, and they'll probably never see the 100 million they were hoping for him.